Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Eclipse. My name is Jessica. In this video, we'll be asking the cards about your future spouse and what they'll think when you first meet. I have 4 stacks for you all to choose from. Starting over here, we have clear crystal quartz, Labradorite, Obsidian, and then rose quartz or pink quartz, whichever you prefer to call it. You can check the description box or the comment section for timestamps to skip to each individual stack. Remember, you can choose as many as you'd like, whatever ones call out to you. If that's all of them, if that's only one of them, it's all up to you. And remember to take whatever you feel is actually a message for you. The whole reading itself might not be a message, it might not fit with you, but there might be tidbits to each stack that are actually meant for you to hear. So we'll go ahead and get started. Like I said, timestamps are in the description box or in the comment section. So starting off here with our first stack, we have that clear quartz over there. I've already laid out all the cards for you. I'll go over them quickly so you know what's out here on the table. We have the 10 of Cups, the 7 of Cups, the Knight of Coins, the 3 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Cups, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, Love, and Serendipity. So these two down here will be our oracle cards, and the rest are all tarot cards. Have some really great cards coming out for you with the 10 of Cups starting off that overall energy, and the Knight of Cups ending, over here with that like bottom transition energy into oracle cards. We see like such immense attraction, and this is somebody who's like very deeply attached to you with the 10 of Cups as well as the Knight of Cups, because the Knight of Cups normally signifies a soul level love, or like a connection that is like otherworldly. It's something that you can't really explain, something that has no like scientific anything to it, but it's there, and you can't deny it. So it's an immediate attraction, it's an immediate connection, it's something that you definitely feel, something that like you can't deny because it's so strong. And it's good because both of you feel this connection. If we have Knight of Cups over here and the 10 of Cups, that means both sides of this are definitely like they're feeling this intensity or this connection. And it's something where you almost feel like when you first see each other, like that first initial contact, it's like you want to say that's your soulmate, or that's like your intended counterpart, the one that was destined for you before you even came into existence. That's the energy. And I think with this person, their first thoughts of you, or how they feel about you when they first meet you, their overall first impression is, if they're looking at you as the counterpart in the 10 of Cups, they're looking at you as somebody who completes them, somebody who is there for long term. So they see it immediately. This isn't something that sort of like takes time to develop, of like, do I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, or am I still searching for the right person? This is immediate. They know who it is. You have the clarity of both the High Priestess and the Hierophant. Sometimes the High Priestess comes out and she's saying, she's not going to tell you the truth yet, she has some secrets. But in this instance, since we have the clarity of the Hierophant right next to it, we do see that it's saying there's not anything that would lead to confusion about this. It's almost like an unveiling, because those two cards are there. They're two strong cards that signify complete awareness in the situation. And I love that in both of these, we have sort of like a crown on both of their heads. Is like brightness, like it's stars that are shining. And in a similar way, we have that 10 of Cups, with that 10 of Cups sort of spread over the top of them like a rainbow, like there's a brightness. It has this really fantastic energy of like just completely understanding who this person is. There's also like, after so much searching for this person, because I feel like it was like they were trying to find the right person, but it was just miss after miss, and it was just like they were almost like it almost seems perfect with this person, or this person comes close, but then there's always something that led them off in like the wrong direction, or something that said like, I have to end this, this is not right, this is not going to be good long term. And with the 7 of Cups, sometimes it's more so about finding out what else is in the cup rather than just what the cup appears as. Meaning like they might have thought that one person was really the right one because on the surface it seemed really great, but once they got to know them and start like digging through that cup, they saw that there were a lot of traits that just really did not align with their own. But now we see that movement to where all the cups are filled with greatness. All the cups are exactly what they need in order to be in a successful relationship. And that's why we end up with the Knight of Cups, which has that like awareness, the like, this is okay to put my energy and love, affection into. So I feel like it's an immense like push of energy, and it's good too because we see the Three of Wands, which is that passion, that energy, that intensity, that like, this is what I want, so I'm definitely going after it. The Knight of Swords is that urgency, right? So they're not going to delay it. They really seem like they're going to tell you this, and they're going to express themselves, so you do feel like an intense attraction. They are immediately attracted to you, mentally, physically. They just have a lot of attraction toward you, and a great like soul pull. So you have three fantastic cards that put you in like all aspects. So like your brain, your heart, physical, you know, everything is right, aligning with them. Everything about you just pulls you toward them. But there's also the Knight of Coins that comes in, and the Knight of Coins, sometimes you would think, well, that's slowness, you know, that's a delay, that it's like going to take forever. But what we see it as here is that transition into longevity. So everything is where you want it to be, with the fire, air, and cup energy of like that push, 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 and then what will make sure it lasts. So it's something that won't die off. You're having that initial, you know, passion, excitement, then this into like that more like deep conversation, and then that love comes along that will get you further into this permanent stable energy. So it's really fantastic that it turns into this, even with the Hierophant being there as that like fixed sign, as Taurus, it coming through in that energy of like permanence, or at least like something that won't be easily sort of rocked. You know, it has a very strong energy to it, a very strong overall presence. And I love that a lot of the time it's the elephant in these cards, or in many cards I have, there's that like almost like it can break down a wall, you know, because it's just so strong, but it's so sturdy and reliable and stable. So it's got this really fantastic energy. Also, with love and serendipity as these final two cards, I think what we're seeing here is their immediate present. And I said that with the Knight of Cups, right? Their immediate like present energy of just like being just overall pull to you, because I really do feel like this is that soul level connection when you first meet. So it's this like, you're the right person, you're the one that they'd like to be with, you're the one that's finally like hitting all the nails on the head, and they don't have to go searching anymore, like with that Seven of Cups situation. They're not having to go out, they found what they want, and they can move forward with it, and they can offer you, you know, their heart. They can offer you everything because they finally feel in this state of serendipity, like that peaceful happiness, that bliss that is very hard to come by. So a lot of really fantastic energy within that first meeting, of just a lot of awareness, and I think something that probably both of you were looking for. And it's got a good clarity too, because we're seeing that you were drawn to the clear quartz, and if you're drawn to the clear quartz, normally that means that you're in a state of like more awareness. You're not necessarily trying to figure things out. You actually know what it is you're going after, know what it is you want. So that'll get you, I guess, like further in a sense than you know, just going in there sort of like blind and not knowing what to expect, or hoping for miracles but not really being ready for the commitment or the seriousness that's there. But it seems very great. So that's what I'm seeing with this first deck and that clear quartz. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Starting with our second stack here, I've already placed the cards out. We have a stone over there with Labradorite. So when it comes to this person, your future spouse, what they think, their first impression, the cards that we have here, let me go over them quickly so that you know what's out here on the table. We have the Sun, the Two of Cups, the Page of Coins, the Four of Pentacles, the King of Cups. We have Death with Rebirth, the Four of Swords, the Hermit, Fate, and Yin. So we have a lot of different cards, a lot of different energy. And the one that stands out the most to me, I think, is Death with Rebirth, just because it's sort of countering that Sun card, or it's sort of completing the cycle from the Sun card. And the Sun card, whenever it comes out, I think it's an enlightenment for like both sides. So it's something that comes out as a strong message, meaning that you finally found what brings you happiness, or finally found something that brings you joy, gets you into a better place mentally or emotionally, whatever it is. It seems like it just brings you into like a better overall happiness. Mainly, if we're getting like their first impression right with this one, this would be their happiness overall with this relationship, or this newfound relationship, because they're they found you. And then it leads into the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups in this situation is Gilgamesh and Enkidu. And basically, Enkidu, I think it's Enkidu, was made for Gilgamesh to sort of counter Gilgamesh's sort of like brute personality. It's like his overboardness, and Kidu was sort of like this wild character that balanced out. It sort of created this harmony of relationship. So the Two of Cups is that harmony, and I feel like that's a major energy here to end that cycle that they were in before you, so that they can start up this new cycle where there is that harmony. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a very strong energy here, and I feel like within that first meeting they're able to see like what it is you offer. And I think it's like when I was laying these down and I saw Four of Swords and Hermit, I thought, why are we resting? Why are we, not doing anything? It's uneventful. You want the excitement, you want the movement and the passion, sort of like with the previous stack you had that high energy, but with this one it sort of had a calmness. But I mean, for those of you who are choosing this one, it might be that you just want calmness. You want something that is predictable, you want something that's stable, something where you feel at home with a person rather than worrying about who this person is, where they're going, who they're with. If they're telling you the truth, you might just want calmness. And I feel like with them too, they want the same thing. They just want somebody that they could have that Two of Cups relationship with. And I think that first impression, that first meeting, the first thoughts that they have of you is like they finally found the one that's bringing that sun into their life, the one that is that completion with the Two of Cups, the one that can make them feel at peace because they have somebody who's very open with them, very comfortable to be around, somebody that they feel at great peace with. Even in the Page of Coins, we also have Yin and Fate. Like this is that feminine energy, but beside that feminine energy, we have a peaceful energy, a relaxing energy. So somebody who makes them feel like just at home. You are a home-like presence to them, somebody who just brings so much comfort. And there's like, no matter what you do, whether it's something that's very exciting or something that's sort of like relaxing or just chilling somewhere, it doesn't matter because it just brings them so much comfort, so much just like serenity within any second that you spend with each other. When you go from the Four of Pentacles to the King of Cups, Four of Pentacles is somebody who's sort of held back, sort of reserved. They're not quite sure what to do in that situation. They don't know if it's like something that they really want to open up to, something that they want to risk, something that they'd feel comfortable with sort of like losing if it got away from them. These are things that cause fear for a lot of people or cause hesitation. But here we see that it's going from that Four of Pentacles into that King of Cups, where it's much more approachable. It's somebody who's much more open and willing to just at least try. So we're seeing somebody who's like willing to open up to you, willing to be the person that you need them to be in a relationship. And that death and rebirth just bring out such a strong energy here. They feel that bond, they feel that connection, they feel this like undeniable attraction to you. It's everything there. You walk into the room and it's like brightness. You stand out. You're the only one that they notice. There's something about you that just has this like brightness around you. And you see that within the sun, that brightness, within the Page of Coins, there's the brightness behind them, within the King of Cups, brightness, right? Even in the death, there's a brightness, as well as fate. Like there's this brightness that sort of surrounds what the center is, the most important thing. So there's a brightness that they see around you when you're around them, when you're in the room. There's something that is there that it just brightens their day. So from the start they feel that. And it too with fate doesn't come out a lot for me in this oracle deck. I don't really get fate all that often, but when I do, I see it as a sign that it's the universe saying this is the right relationship, or this is like the time, right? This is the time for things to come through for you. So it's signaling that their arrival, the time that they come in, this connection, it's all at the right time for you. Even if it seems like it's the wrong timing when they come in, this seems like it's the absolute right timing for this to be successful. And they feel it. I genuinely do feel like this person is very aware of what this connection is, and what it is that you sort of give to them, what you bring to them with like your arrival and just the relationship overall. I think too, good thing was we have the King of Cups And sometimes when it comes to a relationship, we see somebody who's a little um, standoffish usually, or there's something there that can sort of lead to questioning, or like, is this, isn't this, but it does have a really lovely sort of like flow to it, because it turns into the King of Cups, which means you're able to talk to each other, able to have good conversations, really share like your innermost selves with the other person, creating a really in-depth sort of conversation to start. So that's what I'm saying, like first impression, first thoughts of you, it's this openness that they can just like share with you and not feel judged, not feel like they're having to play a part. They feel like they can be their true selves with you, and that's because they found the other half, the Two of Cups. So it's really a strong initial attraction there, something that really comes across quite fast, but in all reality, it's just because there is that connection there immediately. That's what I'm seeing here with this first, or this second stack, sorry, and Labradorite. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Please have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Starting with our third stack, we have that Obsidian over here. I've already laid out all of the cards. Starting over here, we have the Hermit, we have the Hanged Man, the Eight of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Six of Wands, we have the Four of Cups, Boundaries, and the Tribe. These two would be our Oracle cards. So this seems like a very eventful sort of first meeting or first impression, the first thoughts that they have of you. It seems like a lot's going on, because I feel like this person maybe was either in a moment of isolation, a moment of self-reflection, or maybe they're just putting themselves back out there after doing some reevaluation, maybe like figuring out that what they want and sort of what they're going after, they're not like the right things. Maybe they're causing some delays, and after realizing that or focusing on that, now they're really like presenting themselves in a way that can allow them access to what it is that they want. But we see that with the Hermit. The Hermit changes energies into the Hanged Man, which is a reversal, and I think with that, it's like this sort of like ignition. Even with the Page of Wands down here, as well as the Eight of Wands, it's this big spark that comes along, that's like when they see you, they meet you, they have these conversations with you, they're like, that's what I've been looking for, that's what I've been wanting, and that's what I've been asking for, but haven't found, all this time, what they've been hoping for, what they've been searching for, what they've been, asking for, and has not come through for them. It's like finally they see everything in completion when they're meeting you. And I do think there's a part of them that wonders, like, is this real? Is this true? Is this really happening? Because we see both the Nine of Swords, Eight of Wands, as well as the Six of Wands over there. And even with that Four of Cups energy, it can be something where they're like, is this, is this person even interested in me? Do they want what I want? Or am I just making this up? So I do feel like, because they're so heavily attracted to you, because there's such a strong pull toward you, I think there's a part of them that's like almost like questioning whether or not you feel the same way. But it is a strong energy there with the Page of Wands, Six of Wands. It's like they're finally back in a good place. They're finally in a good energy, finally able to sort of see what has been like hard to see, or maybe blurry for a while, like they haven't really been able to see clearly. The Hanged Man normally signifies somebody who's maybe having to go through a process of reevaluation. And even with Boundaries, we have a card that would be their energy. So it could have been the previous people, that they were around, past relationships, that they just didn't really show them the love that they needed, or the responded the right way. This could be somebody who's just very loving, very caring, and because of that, they sort of don't get that in return, and they're hoping for somebody who can give that to them. In the Six of Wands, we see somebody who's gone through something. They always have to go through something in order to appear as the Six of Wands, so they had to go through changes to cycle around, and we end up with a Four of Cups, something like they can't ignore with you. It's something that like they can't get you off of their mind. There is something there that's like unlike everybody else in their life, whether it comes to friends, past relationships, family. There's something about you that when you meet, it's like they're constantly thinking about you. It's almost like magic, like you're on their mind 24/7, and they want to contact you, you know, they want to call you, they want to reach out to you, but they don't really know how to do it. And it might be just um they might actually have that hermit personality, and that might be why um it's showing up in that initial position. But since we have all these other cards, we're seeing that this person is really willing to put in a lot of effort, a lot of energy to you know, be with you, to really show you that they care, that they're, you know, really dedicated in this relationship. But Two of Cups is that main energy that I do want to focus on, because it transitions from the Nine of Swords to the Two of Cups. And that means that normally they go from a moment where they don't have a connection, or they don't feel like they'll ever have a connection. That might be your energy too, where you're like, will this person ever come along? And then finally, the right person is there. And that Two of Cups is such a wonderful card. I think it was in the previous stack with Gilgamesh and Keto, and I think, or in Keto, I think it has such a lovely message of just finding somebody that you really feel a connection with, and it's somebody that's worth it, right? It's sort of like worth coming out of isolation, worth changing your views on, and even with that being Aurora with Sleeping Beauty and the Hanged Man, it's sort of like worth coming out of a slumber for, you know, worth taking on the world. And with you coming into their life, they feel that. They feel like the brightness is back. They can move out of this sort of nightmare or this sadness and embrace this new life. And with you, I think they also set up a new sort of like mindset, a new energy. And I think you might not know this about yourself, but I do feel like you have a really great sense of self, like your own self-worth, putting energy toward yourself. You're really aware of your own needs, and you're the type of person who is giving, but at the same time, you're not going to sacrifice yourself and your sanity for another person. And I think you sort of teach them that like, you know, they might have done that before, where they might have sacrificed a lot to make other people happy, and it just didn't get them anywhere. But with you, you sort of help them set up these boundaries, and through the boundaries, right, they become this fantastic person and embrace this new, you know, group that they're in, this new mindset that they're in. And everything seems to really be like almost like leveling up, right? There's a new brightness, and there's this really strong connection in between the two of you. You see that there's two here. There's this undeniable connection here, and it sort of reminds me of the other stack with that like spiritual, that like soul level connection, that there's something very very strong there. There's something that is, you know, something you can't ignore, because it's more so the universe telling you to embrace this than it is anything else. So you sort of like don't have the choice. You sort of have to be a part of this. You can't ignore this person. And that's the energy of the Four of Cups. It's like, no matter how hard you try, you can't ignore this, because the universe is like, well, timing's right. The person is right. It's like everything is now right, and they bring it in. They bring in the right person. So I do feel like this person has a really lovely energy to them. I think they might, honestly, just because of the way the cards are coming out, they might not be the most expressive. They might not be very good at you know, telling you how they feel. So if you feel like there isn't a connection, that first initial, you know, meeting, I think it's just them sort of like getting through this so that they can be more like this and this, right? But that's what I'm seeing with this third stack and Obsidian. Whatever, you know, if they're holding out for it, it's worth it, because there's a strong connection from this person. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I want to thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye. Starting off with our fourth stack here, we have that rose quartz, pink quartz, whatever you prefer to call it. I've already laid out all the cards, so I'll go over them quickly so you know what's present. We have the Three of Wands, the Fool, Judgment, Ace of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, the Elder of Swords, this would be the King of Swords, the Elder of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, Compassion, and the Fates. These two would be our guide cards. I do like this stack because it sort of reads different than the other three piles. This one has a little more energy, a little more excitement to it, and I feel like this person's really going to put in a lot of energy when it comes to you, basically when it comes to that first date, that first like initial contact, whatever it is. There's such a strong connection there. This person really feels like an immediate bond with you, and through that they just start putting in a lot of effort to make sure that you're aware. And I feel like we're seeing like the King of Swords and the movement of the Three of Wands. That's like somebody who's saying they're going to reach out to you, so expect a lot of like contact from them. um, Expect them to call you up or try to reach out to you frequently to make sure that, like, you know, you're aware of them. You know, basically they're really trying, and it's not in like an overboard way. It's honestly like in an almost like sort of cute way where they just really, they see you and they're so sort of attracted to you that they want to make sure that they could see you as soon as possible. They see this as like a good movement, a good sign, something that is just drawing them in, and they feel like almost like a new energy, a new push. With the Third of Wands and the Fool, those two cards do have that newness, right? That new brightness, that new, like almost like new zest for life. There's like this idea of just starting over and doing all that you can, doing something new and embracing it. So it really does genuinely have like this brightness here. With that first meeting, they see you and they're like immediately attracted to you. They want to start something with you. They feel a strong connection, a strong bond with you. With the Ace of Cups, that's normally to me the card that says like this is a really like heartfelt or like something that they're feeling drawn toward, that they can't explain, because it's something that is like very deep within them, that is just drawing them into this relationship with you. And they want to convey how they feel. But I feel like even though we have the King of Swords, since it's followed by the King of Pentacles, we sort of see somebody who might not be the best at communication. So I think their actions, like they're trying to communicate more through their actions rather than actually like words. But there's an immediate start over, a renewal with you. They see things that maybe they you know, gave up on. This might have been somebody who thought like, you know, maybe marriage isn't for me, maybe the person of my dreams is never coming along, maybe I'll never have that family, or you know, those, that ideal life. But then they meet you and they're like, here it is. We see the offering with the Six of Pentacles, we see the group with the Three of Pentacles. We have a lot of pentacles coming through that normally represents family and building a future together with somebody, developing a stable relationship, marriage, you know, a good environment. So we see a change from like fire, which is something that can easily burn out, into something that is permanent with those pentacles. The pentacles are the permanent cards, the ones that, like if you're looking for a marriage reading, if you're looking for a job reading, you want the pentacles because they signify a lengthy amount of time. They're saying that it's going to be stable, reliable, it's something good, you know, for you, something that won't just wash away. It's there. It's not like the swords or the wands. They don't come in quickly and leave just as fast, you know. There is something permanent about them, and they feel that with you. Like they just are drawn to you immediately. They see you as this like spark, this brightness, this lovely or amazing, this kind, this fun person. And I think that's another thing, something about your personality here, which I really, I mean, I got it in the other stacks, but with this one, there's something about your personality that they just really feel drawn to. It might be your sort of like positive mindset. It might be the way you joke or the way you laugh. There's just something very inviting about your personality that just, you know, really like makes them so enamored with you, so drawn. And I think too, with compassion, they're seeing you as somebody who's very caring, very loving, very giving. You give a lot of your time, a lot of your energy to other people. Even if you don't know this or recognize it, you seem like the type, the way that these cards are coming out, since it is more so like their energy toward you that comes through these cards, right? If it's their first impression, we're seeing the way they see you. And if we're seeing that energy, we're seeing just this overall like loving, supportive, kind, compassion, right? So it's the way that they're viewing you, the way that they see you in their life. And it's a really fantastic way that they look at you. Such a brightness, such a positive, I don't know, like I'm not sure if they have many people like this in their life, if that's why it's coming out the way it is, because it seems to me like you're the only one that comes through in this exact energy. And it might be that maybe they don't have a lot of people in their life. It might be that maybe this is the first time in a while that they've had the opportunity to have a, you know, a spouse, you know, and that's why it's coming through this way. But it feels like here, like they feel genuinely appreciative of your presence, of your arrival. With the fates, this is that card that's sort of like letting the universe decide rather than trying to force it yourself. And it does seem like for a while they were really trusting in the universe, but it seemed like the universe didn't pull through for them, at least. But it could have just been the delay that was necessary to make sure that, you know, they got with the right person, which is you. And that's why they sort of had to deal with what wasn't successful for quite a while there. But your arrival is something that is like, you know, you're worth writing books about in their mind. Like, you are worth just so much because they haven't ever had somebody that's like you. But it really, like, it seems like a lot, but I do feel like whatever this initial meeting is, it seems like something that really just stands out so much. It seems like something that is, you know, permanent. It's like etched in their brain. It's etched in their memory forever. Um, so it's a very, very great energy for you. That's what I'm seeing here with this fourth stack and the rose quartz. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Bye bye.